Alright, this is my second full day of riding. Getting a little earlier start today, 7 o'clock. Still pretty dark out, the sun's just now starting to come up. I'm not going to record for a while of the ride, but getting started out. Let's see here if I got everything. Let's see here. Current ride. Alright. Just starting out and everything there. 0 trip 2. And guess we're ready to go.
Yeah, I had went out to the Frog Bayou the day before, and I took some drone footage, but I didn't have my memory card in the drone, so I didn't get any of it. So I was up early today, and I thought, well, I'll just zip over there again real quick. So I headed over there. It was still dark when I headed over there, but it was light when I got there, and I shot me some new drone footage. Then I came back and I went to the office, bought some eyes, talked to them. They have a big event coming up that weekend for the Overlanders, and the Overlanders they rented out the whole campground, they said. But I'll be gone before that really gets started. But they were already starting to come in. So now I'm headed over to Strawberry Bluffs, which is quite a long ride over there on roads, which is the only bad thing. I had saw a video that was put out by ATV, Amy, and it had Strawberry Bluffs, and I'd never been there. I hadn't even ever heard of them. So I decided to go check them out. They look kind of neat. The problem is it's a lot of road riding between pavement and county roads. Now, if I would have knew my way a little better, I could have probably stayed off more of the paved roads than I did. But anyways, I went to check it out. It'd be worth it more if you maybe tied in, at least if you're coming from Mulberry Mountain area, like going to Bub's cabin, because that's kind of out there in the same area. You could tie it in and kind of justify the ride there a little better than just going one or the other. Yeah, I almost went past the place to go down there. Now this is a big area here, so there might be more than one place to go down to it. I don't know, but this is me going down to it.
Well, I think this is the Strawberry Bluffs. Park up here and have to walk down to it. Hopefully it isn't too far. This would be really slippery if it's wet, because this is rock slab you're kind of walking down. It looks like this is it. I know one thing. This was a long drive from Mulberry Mountain this to here. And I did a lot of road riding. I don't care for that too much. But, boy, you got a 1.5 mile view for sure. Oh yeah, this is nice. Boy, you can see forever. So this is the Strawberry Bluffs.
And you can see it goes around a long ways around both ways. So I don't know how. I just stayed in the one area.
Quite the rock formation.
I didn't walk around all the way around it like you look like you can. So there's more areas you can go to. Now I came on a Wednesday. Nobody was there. I can imagine on the weekend they probably might be a little bit busy because you can't get to it in a car up that gravel road. It was a pretty decent gravel road, so going in the middle of the week you get stuff to yourself.
Man, you got a view, that's for sure.
Yeah, you could see a long ways. Now it would have been nice if I'd.
The walk down here is not very far.
Yeah, the walk down is not very far. I showed the whole walk, so
not bad.
But it'd been not.
Even out here, people
wrote
some graffiti out. Maybe this is just chalk. I don't know.
But it'd been nice if I'd have come a couple of weeks later. The trees, leaves, and stuff would have been turning a little bit more. They were just starting to turn in certain places. This was October 15th, I believe. You could see a long ways for sure. And I did not see any strawberries, so kind of like the Frog Bayou. I've never seen a frog at the Frog Bayou either. You can see way off in the distance the Mulberry Bluffs over there, so I'm not really sure how big the whole area is. Down there, straight ahead's where I was. That was the area I was at. And there's proof that I was there. So I headed back. I was going back a little bit of a different way starting out anyway.
Well, this is after I left Strawberry Bluffs. I'm going back a different way. They will be so much road.
Yeah, I started back a different way, but I ended up back on the roads that I came out on eventually. So like I said, if you knew the area better, you could probably stay off the pavement a lot more than what I ended up doing. But I headed on back, and then I was gonna eat at the cafe at Oark, because every time I've went by there before, it's always been on a Tuesday, and they're always closed on Tuesday. This is a Wednesday, and there was this is after 1:30 or so, and there was a lot of people there. There was a big group of Jeeps, and think they were from the Overlander thing that was coming. And then you had cars, you had side-by-sides, you had motorcycles. The inside was completely packed. So I went, they have a place to eat outside. I went in, ordered my food. They bring it to you outside. It was nice, sat out there. Chickens walking around at your feet while you're out there eating. But it was. I had a burger and fries. It was good. So I went ahead and filled up. They have a place yet, self-serve gas pump there you can get. So I went ahead and filled up. I'd rather have too much gas than not enough. I had enough to get back, and I actually carry 2 gallons extra gas with me whenever I go on long rides like that. But anyways, I was headed on back. About the only good thing about driving on the pavement, you're not in the dust like you are the rest of the time. Yeah, it was a dusty mess, boy. And here I'm coming back into Mulberry Mountain. There's the entrance. And this is the little lake there that's right by where I was staying at. Lakeside Cottage was the name of the place, the house I was at. It's a little house, perfect for a couple. It's up by itself, you get privacy. That's the first time I stayed at this one, and I'd do it again, especially if it was just me. I like being up by myself anyway, so. But, yeah, this is where I was at. It's right next to 23, but there's no other houses or camping around you, so pretty private.
Well, I'm done for my Arkansas trip. This is the end of my ride. I got back. I could go out again, but it'll make me late getting packed up. So I'm gonna just load up and then take it easy and enjoy the evening. But had a pretty good trip. Went quite a ways total. Went. Let's bring that back up. Well, that's coming up. I did have some damage. I lost a center cap. Again, that's the second one I've lost. And I scarred up my wife's door, side of her door here. I got in a tight spot on a little off camber and a tree on the side, and it couldn't really get out of it. So I guess it just gives a character, right? But I think I have an extra of those center caps. But tires are shot. I'm going to go to 32s now. These are the original 30 size, but I'm going to go ahead and bite the bullet and go to 32s and some beadlock wheels. Everybody's going bigger than that. They're going 35s and stuff, but when you start going that big, you're changing the angle of your drive shafts and putting a lot more wear on the joints and stuff. It just isn't worth it to me. But yeah, today I went 139.3 miles. For the whole trip, I went 231.1, but like a lot of this was on roads, gravel roads or county roads, whatever you want to call them. But it was a good time. Try to be a little more careful when you're out here riding by yourself, so you don't want to get too carried away. But like the first day when I came down, I didn't go out till 4:30, So I just went out for a quick ride. I went over to, let's see, where did it, now I can't even remember where I did. Oh, yeah, I went down towards the low water bridge and went down that way, and then I went back up the Morgan Mountain Road and rode a bunch of that back there. And I think I ended up on that day, I think I ran about 35 miles, which sounds like a lot, but it was a lot of faster road riding. And then yesterday, I started off, I went up and rode the trails that are inside the Blue Loop. Some of those I hadn't ridden before, because we've always ridden the Blue Loop to make a good ride. So I hit some of those, and then I spun down and hit Camp Carp, and then went over to Combs and ate lunch. And then when I came back down like you would be going down to the main trailhead for Mill Creek, and go past that and headed over towards the Frog Bayou, which of course the water was barely going, but it's still a nice ride. And took some pictures down there I would have already probably posted them by the time you see this, but and then today, and that was like, I think that day I rode yesterday 58 miles, something around there, just shy of 60. And then today I made the long haul. I wanted to go back to the Frog Bayou because I took some drone videos, but I didn't have my memory card in the drone, so I didn't even get any of it. Well, I got up early this morning, and I was on the trail. It's still dark out. Went over there and took some videos with the drone, and came back and got some eyes. Talked to the people at the check-in. They got a big event coming up this weekend. Overlanders are taking over the campground and stuff. But I'll be out of here in the morning, so I'll miss the big rush on that. But then ATV Amy, if you're seeing this, thanks a lot. I saw your video right before I came down here, and I thought, well, that's Strawberry Bluffs. That looks kind of neat. I think I need to go check that out. Well, that's a long ways over there and a lot of road riding. And maybe if you knew the back roads better, you could have stayed on them more than what I did. But I mean, I was on a lot of gravel roads, you know, county roads too, but a lot of blacktop too. But that wasn't, the bluffs are neat. You really got a good view up there. But yeah, that pretty much killed my whole day though, going over there and back. And then when I came back, I stopped at Oark, and Oark. Why I say Oark? I'm thinking of Missouri, but Oark at the cafe, which I've never eaten there. I've been by there. Seems like every time I've ever went that way, it's always been on a Tuesday, and it's closed on Tuesdays. The restaurant is the cafe, so I stopped there and had a burger, which is really good. Ate outside. Chickens running around at your feet, and then I came on back, and that was a long haul, but not too much worse for wear. Just the center cap and some scraping on the door, but it didn't hurt nothing, just cosmetic. But this is the end of my trip, so we'll I haven't decided where I'll be going next, but we'll have something coming out again soon. But check back soon.